In today's video, I'm going to try something a little different, something that I haven't done in a while, and that's a tag video. So I was contacted by two ladies who also have their own YouTube channel on here, and they tagged me in this video called The Perfect Palette Tag. And the two ladies are I Love Faces 1042. I don't know if that's the mother's channel or the daughter's channel, but both of them are in this video. So they tagged me on Twitter a couple weeks ago, and I took a look at their video and I thought it was a really cool tag to do. So it's basically showing you guys all my favorite palettes, and then there's different categories that I will put these palettes in based on like my favorite ones or ones that I use the most, or you know, stuff like that. So I'm going to go ahead in the video show you guys my favorite palettes, and I'm going to go through the palettes kind of quickly because I have so many here with me, and I'm just going to tell you like the names and quickly describe them, and then I'll move on to most of the palettes I will be showing. I have done a few videos creating looks with these palettes, so if you see a little spotlight pop up, that's because I have a tutorial using the palette. So you can go ahead and click it if you want to see that tutorial. If not, you can just keep watching. So I'm going to go from the smallest palette to the biggest palette, and I'm going to start off with this palette. It is from Bare Minerals. It's called The Power of Neutrals. This came out recently, and I have used this a lot, as you can see, but this is one of my favorite neutral palettes. Another small favorite palette of mine is the Naked Basics palette, and this one has majority of matte shadows. There's one satin, and I did do a look on this palette, and it's actually one of my most popular videos, so if you want to take a look at that, there will be a little link right here. So check that out, and let's move on to the next. So I have a lot of Kat Von D palettes, but this one has to be my favorite. This is the Lady Bird palette, and it's all matte shadows, perfect for fall coming up. I love this palette. This is another palette that Bare Minerals came out with last Christmas, and I believe this was at Sephora, and this is called the Fired Up palette. It has some eyeshadows, lip product, eyes, primer, and blush. Oh, my primer just fell out, but that's, oh, everything just fell out, but that's what it looks like. So I love using mineral eyeshadows, and these three from Sephora are definitely a tie. I use these all the time if I want something really shimmery and metallic. So you can get these at Sephora. They are all shimmery. I would say the one that I use the most is the Moonshadow Baked palette in Nude, and that's what it looks like. Moving on to my bigger palettes, I got this one at Sephora last year, and I actually got this on sale, and I couldn't believe, I think it was like 30 bucks or 40 bucks, or maybe even less than that, I don't even remember, but this is a great palette. This is the Sephora Pantone Universe palette, and I almost feel like it's a MacBook. It seems like it's a MacBook, but it has all these beautiful, vibrant colors, so this is a pretty amazing palette if you like bright shadows. You guys know I love neutrals, so I had to get this Sephora Pantone Universe Precious Metals palette, and I think the packaging is really cool. If you open it, it has all these beautiful like metallic shades, all neutrals, so this is also a great palette. This is a palette I reviewed, I think the beginning of this year, maybe late last year, and this is from Sedona Lace. This is their huge palette with tons of different palettes inside. So you have looks on each palette, and you can actually put them in this little travel case right here. So if you're new to makeup, or you're on a budget, or you just want tons of different options when it comes to shadows, everyone knows about the Coastal Scents. I believe this was the first palette that came out that had so many shades. Then a lot of different companies made ones that were just like this. So Coastal Scents is a great basic palette to have, and I have the Ultra Shimmer eyeshadow palette, and then also the 88 color eyeshadow palette. So this one is all shimmery shades, and then this one is all matte shades, and that's what it looks like. It's gone through a lot, the mirror is cracked, but that's what the matte one looks like. Now I'm going to go through the different questions that they came up with, and I have the little list on my phone right here. So the first one is best packaging. So I definitely think these from Sephora, the Pantone Universe palettes, are the nicest packaging. It comes in a really nice box, and I feel like it's kind of heavy duty material that they make with it. And I just like how sleek they look. It almost reminds me of a MacBook, like I said earlier. And I just love the huge mirror, and I think the placement of the shadows is really, really nice. The only downer is the names of them. I know this one had, the names were, well, they didn't even have names, they were just numbers. This one, they finally came out with names on the very back, but I just really think this is a very sleek way to make a palette, just like the layout of it. So I would definitely say the Pantone Universe palettes have the best packaging. So the next question is best color payoff, and that one's a tough one because usually I don't buy palettes unless they do have a nice color payoff. I usually like to swatch them in the store before I purchase them to see if it's really worth it for me to buy it. So I would say a lot of the palettes that I showed have really nice color payoff, but I have to say one of my favorites is the Kat Von D. I have a bunch of her palettes and she definitely has some great color payoff, especially with the matte shades. Like, just to swatch a few, like, they're just super intense, and I don't know, I love this palette. Like, I feel like her shadows are very soft so you can pick up a lot, but they're not to a point where they flake or fall out. So I just really love the textures of Kat Von D eyeshadows. So this would definitely have to be my favorite for the best color payoff. Question number 3, or category number 3, is most versatile. So there are 2 that I think are great palettes to create many different looks. So it's kind of a tie between the Power of Neutral palette from Bare Minerals and then also the Naked Basics palette. But if I had to choose one, I would probably choose the Naked Basics, just because you can create so many different looks with this palette. They're all neutral, so you can do like a dark smoky look with these tones and then more of a daytime look with these tones over here. And as I said earlier, I did do a video with this showing you 3 different looks. A very easy daytime, a work-friendly, and then a nighttime one. So again, there will be a little link probably right here so you can check that out, but this one for sure wins that category. So the best for traveling, I have actually 2 palettes that I really like. One is the Sedona Lace palette, just because it comes with so many different options in here, and each little pan has so many different shadows, plus it comes with a blush and 2 different lip colors. But why I think it's great for traveling, if I can get this thing open without ruining my new manicure, is this little thing right here. So I like this because you can literally pop any, you know, any palette in here and you can just throw it in your purse. It's great for on the go. So I don't know, I think it's really clever, and you can just mix them up, pop these out whenever you want. They easily come out, and you can put whatever ones you want in there. Plus it comes with a big mirror, so I think that's really nice about that palette. And then another one, of course, is the Naked Basics again, just because it's all your basic colors and it's really small. So it's just great for kind of throwing in your purse or in your suitcase or anything like that. I just like the size and how small it is. So the next one is biggest regret. So maybe the biggest regret buying, or, you know, anything like that. So it was hard for me to choose, but I think the one that I have the biggest regret on is the Sephora Pantone Universe palette. Just because I'm a sucker for packaging and I think the colors totally caught my eye. I haven't really used this one a lot, and you know me, I don't usually wear a lot of bright, vibrant colors, but I think it was nice to have, like when I do want some really bright colors, because there's a great selection in here. But it was on sale, so that was another reason why I convinced myself to purchase it. But if I had to pick, it'll probably be this one. So the next category is the palette with the best names, and I definitely love Bare Mineral names. I feel like the names match the colors perfectly, and they're names that you haven't really heard in other palettes. Some palettes use the same name that other palettes use, but I do like the names they come up with for Bare Minerals. So for example, Boardroom, Schmooze, Moneymaker, Boss Lady, Payday, you know, stuff like that. So I don't know, I just think they're creative and they go with the color really well. It kind of helps me memorize the colors. Another one is the Kat Von D. She always uses really edgy names for her eyeshadow, so it kind of matches her personality, and also the colors in her palettes. So for the least used palette, I would have to say it's the Sephora Pantone Universe the Precious Metals Shadow Palette. I haven't used this a whole lot, maybe like once or twice, just because, again, I'm a sucker for packaging and it was kind of like an impulse buy, but yeah, I haven't used that a lot, so I think I just really swatched them and maybe used like 2 colors in this palette, but that's about it. So last but not least, the last category would be what is your favorite, most used, or if you're stranded on a deserted island, which palette would you have to have with you? And that's kind of a tough one. It came down to a tie between my Kat Von D Ladybird palette and then my Naked Basics palette. And I would have to say probably the Naked Basics because, again, like I said earlier, you can create so many different looks with this palette. And then with the Kat Von D, to me they're more of like fall tones or winter tones. You don't really have any like bright, you know, summer colors in here, so you can only do so much with this palette. So I would definitely say the winner of all the palettes would be the Naked Basics palette. It's perfect for anyone out there, and I don't know, it's just so small and all of your perfect shades are in here and it works for every skin tone, so I definitely like this one the best. So this is definitely the winner. Alright, so that's the end of my tag video. I hope you guys enjoyed that. I thought it was cool that these ladies tagged me, so thank you so much. I will have the link to their YouTube below, and I definitely challenge all you guys to do this video. It is fun to see kind of what you have and get excited about the palettes and colors that you have too. So I'm a sucker for anything when it comes to shadows and palettes, and I know holidays coming up, so I'm really looking forward to all the ones that I will be buying this year. So if you have any questions, please leave me a comment below, and thank you guys so much for watching, and I will see you in the next video.